are, but I had a better mental outlook. I mean, I always try to be positive, but there were subtle things in me that I began to notice. I just felt a difference with this.
Get a wide variety of all your daily recommended servings of whole fruits and vegetables without having to leave your home. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code USA.
It's time for Farm and Ranch Headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. Peanut stocks and processing has been issued by USDA for the month of September. It's the second month of the marketing year. Usage last year for peanuts was up 3.3%, and this starts off a new campaign. Peanut stocks and commercial storage, they said, was 1.46 billion pounds, equivalent farmer stock. That is down 40.2% as peanuts are running out. Total includes 791 billion pounds of farmer stock, and that's down 54%. Shell peanuts on hand, farmer stock, totaled 642 million pounds. That's down 9.2%, and roasted stock was down 24.7%. They are also showing that shell peanut stocks was 483 million pounds. That's down 9.2%, with edible grains reaching 451 million pounds, down 11%. A big surprise was all stocks for peanuts, total 31.9 million pounds. That's up 34% over a year ago, indicating some of those peanuts that were Seg 3s last season have been transferred to the oil market. In September, shellers milled 257 million pounds. That's 31% less than last September. And commercial processors used 209 million pounds of shell peanuts. That's 7.7% more than last September.
Here's farmer and landowner John Prue.
We purchased the land about 3 years ago, and there was an old farmstead on there with trees. We were going to clear the land so we could farm through it. We thought we knew where the pipe was, so we didn't call to get it located. The work on our property led to the damage of a light crude pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse.
Never assume the location or depth of underground lines. Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety campaign.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Clouds and sunshine today with a shower in places this afternoon, high 82 to 84. Patchy clouds tonight, warm with a low of 72 to 75. And mostly cloudy Saturday with a passing shower, a high of 81 to 83. Cloudy and windy Sunday with a couple of thunderstorms, high 79 to 82. And Tropical Storm Eta will affect the area Sunday night and Monday with some rain and wind. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holbrook.
Veterans Day in the U.S. is also known as Armistice Day in other parts of the world, and it honors the many military who have fought for freedom. It is also the anniversary of the signing of the armistice that ended World War I. Major hostilities formally ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. The folks at the Voice of South Marion join you in remembering military past and present.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Friday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks. I am your host, Tom Schmitz. I'm coming to you live from the palatial studios of WOCA Radio, just outside the food court entrance to the Paddock Mall in the Brick City beautiful Ocala, Florida, although it be a hazy, overcast Ocala, Florida this morning, a little muggy. Let's go out to the phone lines and, as always, talk to Galen Unall. He's from Life South. He's brought to us by the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. Galen, a little overcast out there to get the day started.
Yeah, it's starting to burn off. It's going to turn into a pretty nice day. So 175, and the sun is trying to peek through.
So let me ask you this question. It's November 6th, 2020. It's going to be a nice day today. We got the election we're worried about, got high school football tonight, had pro football last night. My question to you is, you free about 1 o'clock to get an 18?
I wish, man. It's I wish. I was telling a buddy that this at work right now is there's more going on at work right now for me than there has been in a long time, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's definitely a thing.
Well, you know, in this day and age where your blood donation is down at least 50%, and you've said numerous times on this show, when you don't have the CF to go to and you don't have the University of Florida to go to, you don't have places like that because they're just not in class, there's nobody on campus, that takes a big part away. I bet the less that blood you have on hand, the more work you have to do probably.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And what we're really trying to do is, you know, again, crisis. And I gave this speech yesterday. I said, you know, when pressure and crisis comes, one of two things happen: you turn into a piece of diamond, or you crack and you dissolve into dust. And so we have to find ways to turn into diamonds, and we're just trying to be as creative as we can. Because there are some real positives. Our donor center donations are way up year over year. They're the highest we've ever seen. And so we're really looking at a bunch of different ways in which we can change our business model a little bit, not be as reliant on the bloodmobiles we have in the past.
Well, you know,
and really upping our donor centers. It's crazy.
I remember the place that I would donate. And this is some place that you've lost. I don't believe I've ever been into the blood center. I've always done it on the bloodmobile.
Yeah.
And I always did it when there would be a new blockbuster coming out or something. I go, you know, I know they're going to be set up at one of these theaters. We can go get free tickets to the movie.
That's right. That's right.
And so, but theaters hadn't been open for 8 months, 9 months.
And this is crazy, but we always had. You know, in every business, when something's going wrong and you need a little boost, you always have a little, you know, a trump card. And movie tickets were always our trump card. We knew that if we gave out movie tickets, we would get donors from it. It was
100%.
Our number one promotion. And then, you know, and schools were the same way. If we had schools and we knew we could get blood donors, and all that's just been completely wiped out. And you know, the way we're communicating with donors has dramatically changed. And again, we talked about it yesterday, where almost every other business is moving more to a mobile operation, where they're relying on less people going into their stores or going into their restaurants. We're relying on it more for more people to come inside and so they could socially distance and away from our bloodmobile. And it's been a real challenge. And you know, and the good thing is a lot of our hospitals are understanding our issues and are helping us become more creative. And again, when you're under crisis, you're more willing to listen to ideas that you would have never even considered before. So our status quo has been turned upside down, and maybe we'll look back at this and say, oh yeah, we learned a lot. This was a good thing. You know, in the middle of the fire, you know, you're just trying to get through to the next day. That's where we're at.
It may be a good idea. You know, here's a good idea. A guy and a girl, you want a special date night or something? Start your date night off by volunteering to give blood, and then go from there. That might be a good idea.
Yeah,
date night, girl and guy.
Absolutely.
There's 2 pints of blood.
Absolutely. We encourage like 16 birthdays and, you know, any kind of celebration in lieu of gifts or flowers or any thing like that. You know, donate blood in somebody's honor or in their memory. So yeah, we love that.
I know you're up. I know you're up against a challenge, and you're low on everything. It's not just one particular type of blood. Now, because you've been in a pandemic for 8-9 months, you're low on everything. Critically low.
Yeah, we really are. And you know, it's not this time of the year. We're usually at a 7 to 8, sometimes 10-day blood supply. Right now, we're counting our blood supply in hours. I'm getting an email every 4 hours as to the state of our blood supply and how many units we have in each one of our distribution hubs, and we have 8 of those across the Southeast. And it's scary. It's very, very scary. I was talking to a buddy of mine who runs the blood center up in Chattanooga, and a couple of weeks ago they had a school bus, get hit by a semi truck. It was a mass casualty situation, and he said if it had happened 3 hours earlier, they wouldn't have been able to help these kids at all, because they had nothing left, and they have to wait for what we call labeling, where all the testing is done and all the manufacturing of the manipulation of the product we have to do. He said 3 hours earlier, we couldn't have saved any of those kids. But, God has a plan, and they were able to get the units that child needed. One child needed over 100 units. And, we were just sitting there going, neither one of us, and we both been in the blood banking business for over 20 years, neither one of us could remember it ever being like this for so long.
Well, neither one of you have lived through a world pandemic. You weren't here you weren't here for 1918 Spanish flu.
We were talking about like 9/11, and because we worked together during 9/11, and we were side by side together for 72 hours, like literally joined at the hip for 72 hours, and now. Here we are in these times when we couldn't be within 6 feet of each other. So we were joking about that, but it's just crazy, and we're dealing with it the best we can. So, all that said, you can help by donating blood and giving the gift of life and saving 3 lives.
And you get
the blood usage is up. The blood usage is way up.
You get tested for COVID antibodies while you're giving with the blood you give, right?
That's right. You get a cholesterol screening, which we've always done, and you also get tested for antibodies. And our antibody rate is going down. And I know people are probably surprised by that when you're listening that COVID rate is going up. Not in our footprint, not in the Southeast, not in Georgia. Not in Alabama and not in Florida. If anything, it's going down. And it's been going down pretty consistently since around June.
Well, that's good news to hear. Good news to hear. Let me ask you, so you're getting ready for a big game tonight? Westport Wolfpack, the Denellen Tigers, here tonight on WOCA.
Yeah.
7 p.m. pregame, 7:30 kickoff. This shapes up to be a pretty good football game. Denellen coming off that big victory over Vanguard. Westport much improved. This could be a pretty good football game at Denellen High School tonight.
It's going to be a really, really good football game. There's some people that I really want to watch play. Denellen's got a quarterback who is a mini Tim Tebow. He's not that small. He's 6'2", 218 pounds, has a cannon for an arm. Trent Townsend. I've been watching this kid play since he was in 6th grade, and I swear he's the exact same size as he was in 6th grade. And they've got a wide receiver named LJ, and he and my son were best friends at Highlands Elementary School, in 2nd grade. So another kid that I've known seems like his whole life, and I'm incredibly excited about the football game because Westport a year ago. Really for the last several years has been really the doormat of Marion County football.
100%.
And now they have a chance to share the county championship. And if there's one thing that COVID did, it brought Marion County football back to Marion County, and that every school played each other. And there is a co-county champion.
Well, not so
when
fast.
I was growing up, that was everything.
Not so fast.
Not in the county. They're a private school. And looking at that team this year, they would not have beat Westport. They would have not
I understand
beat
that.
Denellen,
I understand. No,
Vanguard.
I don't believe TC would have beat any of the 3 schools. But until TC's allowed into the moniker, until they're allowed into we're in the county too, because they are in the county. We didn't get to say in Duval County we didn't play Episcopal or BK because they were private schools.
Sure.
University Christian, Trinity Christian, they still get played by other teams in Jacksonville because they're in Jacksonville. I don't know I don't know. I've never asked him, but I know that back in the day there was this movement that people in the county in the public school system. Craig Damon was one of them. I asked Craig Damon, I go, why don't you play TC? He goes, we beat them when we played them. Why do we have to play them again? There's something about TC that people don't. There's kind of like a county bias where they're not part of our county. They're just like you said. They're not in the county. They're a private school. No, they're squarely in the county, and they play high school football.
Let's talk about that, because I have this conversation with all the coaches.
Hey, hold on. Before we talk about that, let's take a break, and then we'll be back. This is Galen Unall with Life South, brought to you by Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
People ask me why I've worked at Palm Garden for so long, and I tell them it's the people. I love to hear the life stories, especially those from the greatest generation. Celebrating life stories is what sets Palm Garden apart, finding out what's important to them. And I love being a resource. Like Macy's Santa, if I can't help, I'll send them to Gimbel's. After all, Palm Garden is located on 34th Street. I'm Jan from Palm Garden. Call me and let's chat. 854-6262.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. On a Friday morning, you heard Galen chuckle in the intro. Are you having trouble thinking I could eat my own weight in fried pickles twice?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Again, every once in a while, you make me laugh, Tom. So, yeah.
Dan Martone is to be credited with making that intro. I thought it was hilarious, so I play it all the time. I think it's hilarious. We were talking.
Dan is an incredibly creative dude. Just listen to those plumbing ads.
The Mike Scott plumbing ads. Oh,
they're incredible.
They're hilarious.
Incredible.
Hilarious. So we were starting to get into a little discussion. It sounded like it might get a little heated between you and I about how I think Trinity's part of the county athletics, and you have a different take. I'm thinking.
No, we'll agree on this. We'll agree that they are part of Marion County athletics. Where we disagree is why public schools don't play them. For example, I've talked to a lot of coaches, a lot of ADs, and I ask them all the time, why don't you play TC? Or why don't you have Westport on the schedule? 9 times out of 10, the answer for the TC is, they won't play us. We'd love to play them. They won't play us. So, and the question to Westport has always been, well, Galen, they're not very good, and it doesn't help our ranking. And so, the way the polls go and the way you make the playoffs now is by that point system. You cannot play teams that you're just going to beat the doors off of, and they have no ranking whatsoever, which has been Westport in the past. Now that Westport's good again, I really expect you to see Vanguard really working with Westport to get them on the schedule. Because I think that's a game people are going to want to consistently see.
Well, the argument for the longest time, and I did high school football here, as you know, on the radio here for WOCA for 5.5, 6 years. And The biggest argument that at the time Jody Phillips was at Forest, he wasn't the county athletic director. Donnie Tucker was at North Marion. Edwin's at Vanguard. Craig Damon was at North Marion when I first started.
Yeah.
And the thing was, well, it's not fair to play these schools. They don't operate under the same rules we operate under. So it's not fair to play those schools. Well, that's why the rule was changed, and now it's not fair to play some schools that are public schools because, let's be honest, for the first couple of years that it was in force, the best football players from Westport, Forest, every school except Dunellen, because it's so far out. Edwin Farmer pretty much had his pick of who's who in high school football,
correct,
because of the new rule. And that's the same thing they were complaining about that TC could do, is TC could offer scholarships to get the best football players. Well, Vanguard, for the most part, didn't offer scholarships, but they made sure they got the best football players in their school because of the new transfer rules.
Yeah, absolutely fair. And by the way, this isn't just a football thing.
No, it's baseball, soccer, everything.
So in basketball, there are schools that will not play Vanguard in the county more than one time.
Yeah, they get run out of the gym.
Home and home. Well, again, we can't get a home and home with teams like Bellevue. But there are teams like Dunellen. They love to play everybody in the county, and everybody loves to play Bellevue or Dunellen. But, we can't get a game against TC. But we play St. John's. We can't get a game against, like, a Meadowbrook. And I think it'd be fun to play some of these county schools, mostly because I've coached a lot of the kids, and I'd love to see them compete. But I love the local rivalries. Instead, we're traveling all the way to Matanzas or to Lake Mineola or to Jacksonville for a basketball game. And, we can't even play Orlando Jones in our district because, well, they're in our district and they don't want to hurt their district rating.
Right.
I don't understand it.
I long for the days when I was growing up in high school sports. We had the Gateway Conference in Jacksonville. It was Rains.
Yes,
it was Rains, Ribault, Paxson.
It
was Rains, Ribault, Paxson, Jackson, Fletcher, Parker. Who else was in that? Inglewood was in it. Wolfson was in it. And then we had, Wolfson was in it. And then we had Lake City, Columbia, and Tallahassee, Leon.
Yep.
And if you could,
I used to do those games.
State championships came through. State championships. You say what you want about Southwest Miami and all that. The state championship of football and basketball came through the Gateway Conference in the 70s and the 80s and into the 90s.
Yeah.
You had to go to Jacksonville, or you had to beat Lake City, Columbia, or Tallahassee, Leon in football. One of the Jacksonville schools and one of those two schools in football, usually Lake City, by the way, which was really good. But in basketball, and William M. Rames was really good in football, too, in Jacksonville.
Yes,
but in basketball, Ribault, Jackson, and William M. Rames would run you out of the gym.
Ribault's still pretty good.
They really are still pretty good.
Again, Bowles took a lot of that when they really started getting good.
You mean when Corky got there?
They kind of changed. Yeah.
When Corky left Inglewood,
in 70.
He left Inglewood in 79 and he got his first year.
Yeah.
First year was 80 at Bowles.
Right.
Oh, I know Coach. I know Coach Rogers really well. I knew Coach Rogers really well.
And he got and then he won like 5 out of 7 or something crazy like that state titles.
Right.
In the 80s.
He tried to get me in 80. In 81, he tried to talk my dad. He tried to talk my mom and dad into sending me to Bowles in 81.
He was a phenomenal guy. I mean, just listening to him talk.
I would have never been able to make it.
To run through a wall.
I would have never been able to make it at Bowles. Having to wear the little blazer. No, academically. I'd have been able to make it academically. I finished number 3 in my class. I'd have been able to make it academically. But I'm not the slacks and blazer type guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it was back then. Back then it was slacks and blazers. I'm not really, I was the Brendan Fraser, of my high school.
I don't know if that's anything to be proud of.
If you recall the movie I'm talking about,
Yeah, Caveman?
No, the one where he went to the prep school as the quarterback, but he was from.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm with you now.
I mean, remember Travis Carroll, who played for the University of Florida at linebacker. Travis Carroll went to bowls, in the early 2000s, in the late 1990s. And I know Travis. He's from the west side of Jacksonville. And the only reason he went to bowls, the only reason he fit in bowls is because he was a damn good linebacker. And that was it.
That's
No
really
other
all
reason.
it took. Remember, I know Corky tried to get Tim Tebow for years.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
And for years, like his senior year, I know Tim Tebow just wanted to stay at St. Augustine and won the state title.
He wanted to stay at Nice and won the state title, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice and Bowls aren't that far apart.
No, they're not.
I think it's, 15 miles?
15, 16 miles, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
But, Larry Jones went from Pearson, Florida. Pearson, Florida's own Larry Jones went to Bowles High School. He left Pearson, Florida.
Probably the most decorated athlete to ever come out of Bowles.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he's a major league Hall of Famer.
You're the only guy who calls him Larry.
Well, his mom and daddy call him Larry. I'm gonna call him Larry. Of course, we're talking about.
I wonder how many people knew who he was talking.
We're talking about Chipper Jones, the Atlanta Brave great Chipper Jones, who started at shortstop and then moved over to third base to end his career. But he's from Pearson, Florida, right down. You go down 40 till you get to 17, take a left on 17 and drive to Pearson.
You can't get there from here.
You can get there from Ocala.
Barely.
No. Pearson's in the middle of the forest.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
It is. And if you drive into Pearson, they have a large, as soon as you get into Pearson, the Larry Chipper Jones Athletic Complex. It's right there on the left-hand side of the road.
Sure do.
And it's a massive, amazing complex.
Yeah.
Hey, let's. We started the show talking about the shortages in blood. Let's end this segment talking about where people can go if they want to donate blood in this time of critical need.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a couple of things. One, come to our donor center right there at 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. Today we're going to be all over the place. We're going to be at the Bellevue Commons, so come see us there. This weekend we're going to be at, I think, the Lowe's down on 40 on Saturday, at Walmart on.
You hit that spot in Gainesville. Start over. Well, we may have lost. No, he's still there. He's still on the phone. Galen, are you there? Galen. I think we may have lost Galen. Galen, did we lose you? I think we lost him. He dropped. He was on his way to Gainesville. A lot of places, though, the Bloodmobile will be this week, this weekend. Go to Life South's website. Check it out where the Bloodmobile is listed there. Or you can always go to the main office of Life South here in Ocala on the boulevard, almost directly across from Center State Bank there on the boulevard, Chase and Center State Bank. Life South is right across the street from there. We'll be back after this short timeout. You're listening to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
An armed man was arrested Thursday night outside the Pennsylvania Convention Center as voting counts continued. Reports say he was planning to attack the location. Police say they were tipped off about a group of people from Virginia driving to the convention center in a Hummer with a possible plan to strike. WPVI reported. At about 10:50 p.m., a man inside a Vietnamese restaurant across from the center was taken into custody. Police recovered a weapon at the location and a Hummer. It's unclear if the man arrested is connected to the alleged attack plot. NBC News is reporting Defense Secretary Mark Esper has prepared a letter of resignation. The news outlet is crediting the story to 3 unnamed defense officials. Jonathan Hoffman, assistant to the Secretary of Defense for Public Affairs, says the NBC story is inaccurate and misleading. As Mr. Esper's tenure may or may not be coming to an end, Esper is helping members of Congress draft legislation that will strip names of Confederate leaders from military bases. USA Radio News.
Attention business owners body slammed by overwhelming debt. If your business is in trouble, hassled by creditors, if you're frustrated, finally fed up with big business bailouts while your business has been left for dead, please listen close. There's a brand new fast-track bankruptcy. Some have even called it the biggest small business bailout in American history. Designed for individuals and their businesses. And look, almost no one knows about this yet. My attorney wasn't even aware of it. The truth is, beating the system has never been easy because it's rigged in a sense against the little guy. But here's the jaw-dropping news nobody's talking about. They've literally just changed the system so that you can beat it, but only if you understand how the new game has to be played. Find out if you qualify at pocketsoflight.com. This government-backed small business repair program is still legal, but may not be renewed after the election. Fight back fairly, fight back ethically at pocketsoflight.com.
Finally, shipping made easy. Just Ship is your answer to your shipping aggravation. They come pick up your package and ship it for you. Birthday gifts, eBay sales, or an online return. Just Ship can handle all of them for you. Act now and you can save 20% on an annual subscription, which will take you through the 2020 holiday months. Go to www.justship.net now and take the aggravation out of shipping.
There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40, just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking, free breakfast, a swimming pool, a kiddie pool, and veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to. Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
Started in 1975. It's Yendel's Building Materials. Whether you're making repairs, adding a room, or building a house, Yendel's constantly delivers excellent service and top quality materials and many of the tools and hardware you need to get the job done. At Yendel's, they take pride in supplying their customers with new and innovative products. Yendel's experience in truss design, manufacturing, and component materials is second to none. 834 North Magnolia Avenue in Ocala, 732-3000. Stop by to experience the difference.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. In addition to our pasture mowing and tractor services, including zero-turn mowers for your fence line finish, we also offer rototilling and fence row spraying. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call